Hello makers and welcome back to Mixed Media Masters. It's really good to have you here. Now this week I'm on vacation, but just because I'm away from home doesn't mean I didn't bring a few items with me to help me to create a fun and engaging and relaxing piece of artwork. And this week I'm going to show you how we can make a nice abstract piece of art using just a few simple materials that will easily fit into your luggage. Let's check it out. Now, as I often like to start with my projects, I'm working with a piece of heavy-duty watercolor paper. This is 9 inches by 12 inches because, it fits into the luggage a little easier. It is 140 pounds. And again, one of the things I like about sometimes different watercolor papers is that you may have a rough side and a smoother side, which is the case here. And I think I'm going to leave the rougher side be the surface that I end up painting on today. Now, what I want to be able to do is I want to mask out some lines, and I'm using this. It's basically a spool of very, very thin tape. These are all about 1/4 inch. And what I can do is just, peel a piece off, and I'm going to just run a line across my piece of paper here, like that, right there. And just make sure it adheres down nicely. And I often will wrap it around the back a little bit on both sides just to get out of the way, but there we go. We now have a masked line. And I'm going to keep doing that. I might use different colors just to entertain myself. Oh, that didn't entertain me at all. Let's find one that won't break here. There we go. And pull that out a little bit. And again, what I'm trying to do is just get something that can go maybe lengthwise this time. And I'm just going to, again, put a random line in here. I'm not going to really think too hard about this or overplan it. What I really want to be able to do is use my lines to bisect this piece of paper and to really just give it a number of different areas that we can think about painting. And in this case, it's really almost like a mosaic that we're planning in advance. And that once we have all the pieces, I'll use this color again, once we have all the pieces, then we'll be able to come in here and kind of figure out what goes into each one of them. So let me run a line like that. And again, the colors we're using here don't matter. I have considered that one of the things that's kind of interesting if you do this with different colors is that you end up with something that looks like a piece of artwork all by itself. I'm just using these colors because they're available to me, but not necessarily focused on the color this week as much as what the color can do for me. I'm gonna do one of those like that. That's a good line right there. And again, I'm looking for some kind of interesting intersections along the way, but it's really kind of just going and doing something that just kind of feels natural. Kind of just creates ways of bisecting this. So pull this yellow one out if I can reach into that. There we go. And let's create a... And every time I do this, of course, we're making all these separate sections. I'm going to get rid of some of the bigger ones just so I have a little bit more choice when it comes to laying my paint down later. Oops, let's kind of do... Let's do that. Let's do that like that. And I'll tuck these other ends under all at once when I get a break here. Let's do the same thing up here. We'll just kind of split that there. Just added a whole bunch of new pieces in that section. And let's do the same thing up in this area here. Cross that like that. There we go. And again, you're going to get a sense when you're working on anything like this as to how big you want these individual portions to be. Now, let's see what works here. I'm going to kind of cross over there. There we go there. And I may look at something like this saying that's too big. I think that section should be made a little bit smaller or split in half. So I can do that pretty easily just by coming in here and getting another piece like this. There we go. How about that? Looks nice. Maybe another piece in here. And again, a lot of times the materials will kind of talk to you. You'll be able to come in here and kind of see what's working. I'm getting to the point where I think I don't need to make most of these pieces any smaller. A couple more sheets, pieces of tape in here will kind of take care of that. There we go. There's one that will work. And let's see. How about, let's come in through here like that. And I'm going to draw another one right across the top here. And that might get us close to where we want to be. And there we go. All right, Now I'm not unhappy with that. I'm going to take this, which is now firmly taped to the table. Let me just start pushing these over the edge just to glue them down and get them out of the way. So there we are. All right, what comes next? Well, what I want to do now is I want to get my portable traveling set of watercolor paints out. And again, we kind of move these open a little bit. There we go. And these are fantastic. Now, one of the things I will say that I have learned is that if you put them away wet, like I did last time I used them, they have the tendency to stick to themselves and other things. But what I'd like to do for this particular piece is I would like to focus on blues and greens, kind of an aquamarine sort of thing. And I'm going to be using paint pens. Now, these are fun pens, and I'll put a link, by the way, to everything we're using in the description below. But these different paint pens allow me to come in here, and the water's already in the barrel. I don't know if you can see that, but the water is in the barrel, so I don't need to have a cup to dip in. And these are, again, really helpful if I'm just traveling and, maybe you're sitting someplace outside doing some sort of watercolor paint work, and you don't have a lot of gear with you. So I have a pointed brush, I have more of a squared brush here, and I have another pointed brush. And what I'm going to do is let me uncap this here, and this brush is already wet, and so it allows me to come into my paints. And, let me pull this up so you can see it, and come into my paints, and I'm going to start getting some of this green here on my brush, and then I'm just going to start looking for a place I can fill in with that particular color. Okay, and this is where we can see how well the tape is doing its job as a masking tool. And it's really just an opportunity for me to come in here and smooth my work out. Let's get some more. And by the way, if you need to get a little bit of extra water, you just squeeze the brush. Squeeze the tube here, and you get more water to work with. Pretty handy dandy stuff. And again, these are relatively affordable too. They're not crazy expensive, and they're really good to travel with. So, all right, there we go, clean that up. And I'm going to just kind of decide along the way, kind of just to take a certain color and just kind of space it as far away from itself as possible. Put it in here 5, 6, 7 times per piece. But let's see what we have over here. Let me move my paints out of the way. We'll go right in here, for example. This can be another one of the kind of an olive green. Although this is a pretty dark green. There we go. And it seems a shame that all of our beautiful color tape is really just serving its purpose as a masking tool and not as any kind of a design element. Let's see, let's go over here to this side. We'll put some paint on this one over here. There we go, looking good. One of the things I like about working with the watercolor paints as well is that they don't come on just one pure color. You get kind of a textured pattern that is also included as part of this, which I think is really kind of just a bonus. Bonus. Okay. All right. Now, by the way, one of the things I'll just share with you because I think it's worth knowing about is with these travel sets. First of all, there's a little sponge up here, and you can use this to kind of clean your brush. So I can let some stuff and just use this and kind of clean my brush off a little bit. And it doesn't take too much water to do it. Again, if I don't have a dipping cup of water or something to work with. And I'm going to go to another green color here anyway, so it's not going to be a huge problem. And let me come in here and I'm going to choose another color. It looks like it's a similar type of green, maybe a little bit lighter. Maybe that's not very different from the other one I tried. So maybe it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit more yellow, but you know what? Not enough to make me really notice the difference. I'm going to come into this green here. It's more of a kind of a standard green. And let's try that one. Yeah, that's definitely a different color, so use that as our new color of choice in here. What I like about this too is, like a lot of artwork, there's a very, very therapeutic aspect to it. And that this is not a hard thing to do. This is the kind of thing you can very comfortably do while, watching a television show, listening to a book, doing, anything that really just lets your mind wander a little bit. There's a certain zen to this that just allows you to do something that is creative, not complicated, doesn't really take a huge amount of concentration either. And when you're done, you get results that are really something you can be proud of. All right, let's see. I'm going to put this up over here. There we go. And I will, so say down here, put this green color there. And to that point, I'm just going to go through the different colors I have here. Let me just kind of just lay some paint down, give you some music to listen to, and we'll see what this looks like as we go through it together. Okay, well, the paint has had time to dry, and now comes the fun part, you want to come in here again. I'm going to kind of pull the ends here, and if you flip this thing over, yeah, there's lots and lots of strands. What I've discovered, instead of trying to find them one by one and pull them one by one, which will take you forever, is just start to loosen the whole bunch of them. Just go take everything from the side here, start just bringing them over to the other side, just like this. Bring that in there. And then we're going to be able to start pulling things down a little bit. I'm going to just, again, kind of loosen all the tape that's on this side. One of the things I'll mention, by the way, with this particular tape, and I don't know exactly where I got this one. I will find a suitable replacement for you, though, in the links below, is you want to make sure it's a fairly low-tack tape, because I found in certain papers, not really the heavy-duty watercolor, those usually work out pretty well, but some of the lighter papers, sometimes the opportunity to pick up a little paper along the way with your masking is possible. We don't want to do that. That makes things less fun. Okay, so there we are. So we've gotten all the things, and I'm just going to start kind of pulling things down on this side. That's what we're going to do. And you can start to see the reveal. It's kind of cool as we start to pull all these different pieces of tape off. And again, we'll kind of pick them up and pull things in from the side. There's a few places I'm seeing where it could have been a little bit tighter in the masking. But again, it doesn't hugely matter. No one's going to look at your artwork with a magnifying glass probably. And once you have this revealed, it's going to be so overwhelming, they're not going to spend a lot of time caring about these little tiny spots where things may not have gone exactly perfectly. Look at that. And there we are. Now again, there's nothing about this piece that is to be ashamed of at all. And again, once you finally get the white back in here and it starts to allow you to see the different shades of colors of greens and blues or whatever color you chose to work with here, it brings it all together beautifully. I'm actually really happy with how this happens, and I'll trim off my rag edge at some point. But again, this is really just a relaxing, holiday approaching piece of artwork, and nothing to feel bad about at all. This looks fantastic. Now once again, the colors you use are going to affect the tone, obviously, of your piece, and you don't have to go really crazy on the tape. Go with what works for you. Bigger pieces, bigger blotches of color, whatever is going to work for you is going to work for you. Again, as we like to say on this channel, There are no wrong answers. When it comes to making abstract art, there are some better answers perhaps. Anyway, that's what I have for you this week. Thanks so much for being here. I was on my special vacation. If you like what we did here, we drop a video every single week. We'd love to have you along for the ride. We have a very growing group of people who get together every week, and we'd love to have you be part of those. So please hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll include you on the list of people that notify every week when a new video drops. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Thanks so much. This is Spider. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you soon.